Hey Harmonizers! For this session, it's an exciting time because we're going to test out if Jen, who is the barn owner and horse trainer at Harmonia Equestrian, can catch treasure, and if she can lead her around and kind of move her around to kind of see where she's at, and hopefully all goes well, because then she'll be the one that will kind of carry forward her training to get her to a place where she can get her feet done by the farrier and kind of build up her trust and just make sure that she can get her regular care. So she's doing super amazing with me. I can catch her, I can touch her legs all the way down, all four legs. But now, is she going to be okay in the barn owner's hand, Jen's? And let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's perfect. You can see her go through her little internal dilemma of, oh, I would like the food, but I'm a little nervous about the food. She's like, I could think about taking the food. Perfect. Yeah, and kind of do that again, yeah, and let her take the first bite of food just kind of freely with no, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, and then kind of pick a side that you want to try to kind of approach retreat with until you can touch her, knowing that she's most sensitive about her nose being touched. Like, that's the least spot where you would want to touch her. Yeah, on her neck is great. Perfect. Doing awesome, Jen. Perfect. And you can let her have another little bite. Yeah, perfect. Good. And she already does kind of know that yes word too. Like when you can be like, yes, and then you can let her have a bite out of the bucket. Good. And then kind of start to run your hand kind of up her neck and kind of down her cheek area so you can get close to where the snap would be for. Yeah, and just kind of pet her on her neck with the snap. Yeah. It's tricky, right? I know, you have to kind of go off of feel a little bit, but that's okay because you're not, like, what you're doing is totally fine. Yeah. Perfect. And then just let her eat another bite. Good. Just let her kind of really lick the bucket so she knows that that's good stuff. And then you can either take the bucket with you, or you can just put the bucket down and then just lead her and essentially kind of stand a little bit in front of her. Yeah, and you can just turn and go where, yep, either, it doesn't really matter. Her leading's pretty decent. Yeah, and then you can let her have a bucket. Yeah. And whenever you need to get a new handful, you can. Whatever kind of works for you. Good. And if she ever does like start to really pull on you or have an issue, try as best you can to keep a feel on that halter so she learns not to. Yeah, I know. So there she got a bit nervous because I'm standing behind her when she went.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. Do a little change of direction or whatever. And if she gets really stuck too, yeah, you can turn a circle. Yeah, so you can kind of like hold, try to get her to have a good walk step before you give her a, and be careful not to use the food as a bribe. I'd rather you wait until she takes a step until you give her a cookie, even if it means that it takes longer. Otherwise, she'll get very smart in a bad way. There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, and if she gets nervous, you can always go out a little bit more ahead of her too, and that will help her. Perfect. Very good. That's great, Jen. Yeah, so like yes her and reward her for like a good circle like that, rather than when she gets cheeky and be tempted to use the bowl to get her back, you know what I mean? Yeah, so try rubbing her a little bit on both sides, and then try a little bit of like backing her up or moving her shoulders or moving her hips. Say back. There you go. Good. Good girl. Very good. Yeah. Good job. I'm going to move to a little spot just because of the lighting. Hopefully she won't be upset. Yeah, and she knows how to move shoulders and hips. We have not ventured into sideways yet. Good girl. So I just sped this little bit up. It's double speed of Jen moving her around a little bit and doing a little bit of rubs, just so that way you guys could see her moving around a little bit and see what she was up to without taking a super ridiculously long time. So she did a little bit of leading, a little bit of changing of direction, moving around on both sides of her, which is great. And you can see there she's leading her on the left side, which is Treasure's more difficult side, and giving her some rubs on her neck there and giving her some little pats and scratches and things like that, and working up to being able to touch her legs and kind of see how that will do. How do you feel about her? Yeah. Is she kind of similar to something that you've worked with now? Yeah. Like a skittish horse, but not totally wild. And the nice thing, she's actually quite naturally curious. So I think once, she's going to pick up on a few things pretty quickly. So Jen finished up by doing a little bit of rubbing on Treasure's legs, which she actually did really great at. She doesn't really know Jen, so this was all brand new, getting caught by her, led by her, rubbed on by her, doing her legs. So it's all a lot for her to handle, and she's really doing fantastic. I think she's doing a great job, both of them really. The fact that Jen's great at keeping in control of her energy and what she's kind of projecting to the horse, and she's got a lot of experience with a lot of different horses and some really difficult and challenging horses too, so she's doing a really fantastic job here. And then Treasure being calm and listening and doing quite well. So this is really setting them up really nicely for things to kind of wrap up. I'll have one more half day with her tomorrow, where she'll get, we'll have time to do another session in the morning, and then I'll be heading out and starting my journey back to Canada, while via picking up 2 thoroughbreds for the 2021 makeover that are going to be coming home. So you guys will be excited to see those horses and see what they're up to. One's for a client and one's for myself. So the goal of coming down here was just really to get Treasure in a place where she could start to receive regular care. So I think we're well on our way, and I'm loving how Jen did, but let me know what you guys think.